Arg, ahoy there, mateys, and welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 25 on the SS Pirates. We are Captain Jack Sparrow, and we're going to try and take this team to the playoffs this year, hopefully a World Series. We'll see how it goes, but the goal of this series, if you have been paying attention so far, I just dropped the pirate accent really unsubtly right there. The goal of this series is to win a World Series with a bottom 5 payroll. We're going to keep doing that. We're just going to jump right into this with a game against the Detroit Tigers. Based on the comments, it seems like a lot of people like the gameplay footage, so we're going to try and squeeze in at least one game for every video, except maybe some trade deadline stuff. But hopefully we'll put out enough videos to make this go by pretty quickly. In this one, I think we're going to play one game and then sim about 5, because this Detroit series is going to be a 2-game series. As you can see by the matchups, we have a slight advantage right now going into this. Jack Suwinski and Rowdy Tellez are a bit cold, as is Brian Reynolds, but we'll see if we can snap some of them out of their slumps here. Martin Perez is going to be our 6th pitcher in our 6-man rotation right now, and this is going to be Game 6, so Mitch Keller will pitch our next game against Tariq Skubal. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. After this, we'll check in on our guys. I think after this series, we'll be about 10% through the season. We can kind of see where some of our guys are standing right now. But Martin Perez is going to start things off against Mark Canha. And here's that super annoying startup camera again. If you guys know how to skip this, please let me know, because I do not like it. It's a waste of time. It is very cinematic, and it's cool like the first time you ever see it, but then it's just dumb. All right, so Canha with a lead-off walk. Bad start, and here comes Gio Urshela. And that looks like it'll be an out, and it is. Brian Reynolds easily gets to it, 1 down. Riley Green hitting the 3 spot for Detroit, and Detroit is actually quite a bad team through the first 10 games of the season, so I think we have a slight advantage here. Here's Petaluma's own Spencer Torkelson, and he is going to get out number 3 there. A true 3 outcomes hitter if I've ever seen one, right? So we're going to go up against Kenta Maeda here. In his first start, he did okay. 2 earned through 6, but he did pick up the loss. We'll see if we can make him 0-2 here in this one. I'll start off with Olivares, and goes down swinging, so the exact opposite of the top half of the inning result. Andrew McCutcheon batting second, and something just happened. Did Kenta Maeda just get injured to start the game? I believe that did happen. Bo Brisky has come in. Let's check out that game log here. So struck out swinging, and then no explanation. Sprained ankle on the first batter. So interesting. Struck him out, but sprained his ankle. Then Bo Brisky to Brian Reynolds, and theoretically our best player finally gets things going a little bit with a lead off, or not a lead off, a 2-out single there. I'm going to steal second here and see if I can catch him off guard here. Looks like that was a successful stolen base, and let's see if Oneil Cruz can bring him in. That's a walk. Rowdy Tellez up now, and I'm going to will a home run into existence here, so this will probably be a strikeout. Ooh, it's a balk. Interesting. Second time I've seen a balk in 4 played games so far. And there goes Tellez striking out. So we leave 2 on. Not a great way to start, but not a terrible way to start. And we already got Maeda out after 1 batter, so things are good there. But one thing to note coming into this game is our bullpen is a little ragged. Pardon the voice clears there. Leadoff double to start for Perez. And Keston Hura looks like he may have gotten hurt there as well. So the Detroit Tigers are falling apart. Hire a new strength and conditioning coach, guys. We're at first and second now with the walk. No outs. And another walk. Jeez. Let's go take a mound visit. See if we can calm him down here. Let's see if we can get a GIDP here. Not a GIDP, but we did get 1. 1 is better than 0. They do play a run on the sacrifice there. Jake Rogers up, and that is going to be got the catch, throwing home. And he gets home safe. Whoa, he was like sliding into the dugout there. It's crazy. All right. So a successful sack fly. Makes it 2-0. Perez gets out of that terrible jam. Not too much damage, but 2 runs is worse than 0 runs. So we got to get back into this quickly. Keep Brian Hayes up. And that is a terrible way to start the inning. Just a slow blooper. That was the first pitch, I think, of that at bat, too. Jack Suwinski up. Full count here for Suwinski. And he strikes out. And Henry Davis, who's been our best hitter up to this point. Nothing doing there, just a soft grounder. Pitcher fields it, and that is 2 innings. All right, so Martin Perez back up top of the lineup here. Another Gio Urshela fly out to left field. See if Perez can settle into a bit of a groove here. Gets the strikeout. Torkelson up. And that's going to be a ground out to short. Got him. All right. So nice 1-2-3 inning for Perez. Needed one of those. Brisky back up for his 3rd inning of work. Let's see what his stamina looks like. Kind of already at the edge of it. Maybe I should be telling my guys to be a little bit more selective out there just to wear them down and get through this bullpen as much as I can. All right, so 2 up, 2 down. Andrew McCutcheon up. And that is going to be another out. So Brisky's looking solid in his bit of relief there. 1 hit for either team. And that's what manufacturing runs looks like for Detroit in that 2nd inning. They got a hit and 2 walks and ended up getting runs on 2 sacrifice at bats. Sac fly and a sac grounder. So error over at first for Rowdy Tellez. Colt Keith now on first. 1 out, and that is a walk. And here comes Perez being his own worst enemy again. If he gets a walk here or a hit, I think I'm going to get someone going in the bullpen. Got a strikeout, though, so gotta like that. Jake Rogers up now. Could do some danger here. Hopefully he won't. Straight to center. Suwinski looks like he's got it, and that is going to be an out. That's the top of the 4th. Lead still 2-0 Detroit. In comes Brian Reynolds to start the bottom of the 4th. Last time he faced Brisky, he got a single. This time, a foul ball that is easy for Urshela to grab it. 1 down. Oneil Cruz, our best hitter in general. Probably 2nd best hitter in terms of stats so far behind Henry Davis. That looks like it's going to be a double. Cruz has the speed to get in there easily, and it was a terrible throw, so keep that in mind when we're testing arms later in the game. Rowdy Tellez up. Now let's see Shelby Miller coming in, former top prospect pitcher who never quite panned out. Coming in relief here, and let's take a look at his stats really fast. He's just kind of middling across the board. Nothing great, but nothing bad. 35 stamina. Should be able to get a handful of innings out of him. And I don't think he's going to get there, but maybe he will. Ooh, there you go. So, wow. Key Brian Hayes with one of the worst RBIs you will ever see, but he did get one across, and that's all that counts. A run is a run no matter what. And there's a successful steal for him, too. 2 for 2 in the stolen base department. Jack Suwinski, hopefully you can drive him in here. Instead, he'll take a walk. That brings up Henry Davis. Been big in clutch situations so far. Might be another big clutch situation there. It looks like it's going to be a double. Could plate 2 here. Throw home. Cutoff man grabs it, and it did not plate 2. Suwinski stuck over at 3rd base, but we did tie the game. Great at bat for Henry Davis, and he's having a good start to the year. Pirates had a good start to the year last year and then cooled off terribly. Ooh, Nick Gonzalez, wow. A nice little manufactured single right up the middle. And that is now 3 across. Let's see what Olivares can do here. That's out into the gap, but I think enough under it where, yeah, it's going to be an easy grab for Green. And we'll finish that up 3-2, but looking better now. Hopefully Martin Perez won't get in his own way here and walk in some runs. Starts with Riley Green, or sorry, was that Mark Canhaw? Yeah, it was Mark Canhaw. So ground out to start the inning. Urshela's flown out twice to left. This time he'll fly out to right. Olivares making it look harder than it seemed to be. Here comes Riley Green, who I think has struck out both at bats. This time he will ground up to second. Gonzalez misses it, and he's on with 2 outs. So hopefully we can stop this before it becomes anything worse. Torkelson does have major home run power. He's going to check his swing, and we got him. Don't test. Henry Carter behind the plate there. Good arm. Bottom of the 5th, Andrew McCutcheon to lead things off, and he starts with a strikeout. Now Brian Reynolds. Shelby Miller's still in, even after that terrible inning he just had. Reynolds grabs his second hit of the game. I think it's also going to be a single. Just plops right down in front of Vierling out in left. Debating if I want to send Reynolds here, but I think I'm just going to let Oneil Cruz swing away, especially since they brought a lefty in. This is Tyler Horton. Let's look at him really fast. A little bit better overall than Shelby Miller in terms of his basic pitching ratings, but his actual pitches, I think, are a little bit worse. Primarily a changeup guy. About the same stamina. They'll probably get 3 innings out of him. Let's see if Oneil Cruz can do some damage here. Ooh, I think that might be a home run. That is gone. Oneil Cruz keeping it going. I think that's 3 home runs for him out of the 4 games that we've simmed so far. Keeping it up, and we are now up 5-2. Excellent start to that inning. Rowdy Tellez not having a great game, but I think that might be back-to-back. It is! Woo! And that's out of the stadium. Put that in the river. Here we go. 6-2. That's the first home run for Tellez. That might be a second. I'm not 100% sure. Great follow-up. Back-to-back 3-run innings. Keep the pressure up. Jack Suwinski up. Full count with 2 outs. Last time he had a full count, he struck out, and he will strike out looking this time. All right, so Martin Perez still got plenty of innings left in him. I think if he gets through this, he should have the quality start in him. If he doesn't get the quality start, he's probably going to get pulled. I'd be shocked if he gives up anything this inning and I keep him in. But again, we do have to remember that we do have a short bullpen we're working with here in this game. So we want to keep Perez in as long as we possibly can. Another strikeout. And then Vierling, I think that's going to be a hit. Yeah, off the wall. That should bring in a run. Vierling, I think, is going to just get a double. There you go, Javi Baez up next. And let's see, wrong team, who I can get going here. So Holderman is injured. He's day-to-day with some shoulder soreness. I'd prefer not to have to pitch him. Baraki is also a lefty. And then we have Bednar, Falter, Mladinsky, Chapman. I guess I'll get Baraki going. Hopefully Perez can get himself out of this. Oh, that's going to be another RBI, double off the wall. Not the luck we're going for here. Unfortunately, this is exactly the kind of situation I was hoping would not be in. He thinks he can get through the inning. We'll see how he does here. So he grounds out, finishes that off. Hopefully Baraki can get us through an inning. I'll probably let Perez start off the 7th and see how that goes. And the second he gives up a hit, we'll just switch to Baraki. Henry Davis up here. faces a lefty for the first time in the game and strikes out. Nick Gonzalez looks like he's probably going to strike out here too, and he does. Looked way outside, even though I get it's a simulation. I think that's going to fall in. Ooh, just over Urshela's head. I think that was Urshela still out there in third, and it is. Olivares on. Let's keep the pressure up, and we are going to try and steal a base here, even with the left-handed pitcher. And he made it. All right, let's see if McCutcheon can get something going here. All right, so Martin Perez to start things off here. And that is 1 up, 1 down. And then I'll just get Barucki going back up again. Want to make sure he's ready when we need him. A walk to Urshela. Riley Green up, who's not had a good game thus far and might keep his bad game going. Just 1 out. I thought that could have been a double play, but it's not. Torkelson up here. This is kind of dangerous. I'll visit the mound, see what so he feels worn out. I guess we'll just go with Barucki and hope for the best here. Torkelson does have the kind of bat that could tie the game up here, but instead he just grounds out. Best case scenario. Get out of it. And we are at the 7th inning stretch now. All right, so Jason Foley now in for Detroit, bottom of the 7th. Keep the pressure up here. Hoping to get at least a 3-run lead. Reynolds, I think it's not gonna be a double. Should be. It's touching the wall. It should definitely be a double. All right, so Reynolds up on second. Let's see if Oneil Cruz can keep the hot bat going. Nope. Easy fly out. 1 down. Rowdy Tellez. It's interesting that Cruz and Tellez both got homers off lefties, too. That's some crazy movement right there. Tremendous play by Torkelson out in foul territory. 2 down. Ke'Bryan Hayes. I think that's a double in the gap. Looks like a double in the gap. Going to be an RBI double in the gap. Excellent 2-out RBI for Ke'Bryan Hayes. Lead pushed up to 3 now. And Suwinski probably going to be an out. Looks like it is, and it is. So we did extend that lead to 3, which is exactly what I was hoping for here. Let's see if Barucki can paste out these lefty bats here and get us to David Bednar. I'd prefer to let him start the 9th clean, but we might have to call him in the 8th here, depending on how Barucki does. That's 2 down. Beerling got the big hit to get things going. And his last at bat, looks like he is going to get another one out there in center. This time just a single, not a double. And Baez, that's a ground out to short. Oh, Oneil Cruz. Really killing me there. All right, so big time at bat. Hopefully Cruz makes up for it there. He does. Could have been dangerous, but it isn't. We survived both errors in this game. Start to get David Bednar warming up. We'll just do our best. Hopefully we can add some runs here, but I don't think it's necessary. I'd be really depressed if Bednar blew the save here. 2 up, 2 down. Olivares. 1-1 count. Pitch coming in. And Olivares grounds out to short. Unless it's an error, which it did not look like it was. No runs, no hits. And in comes our closer. Sorry, I was going to call him our saver. David Bednar. Facing primarily righties here. Mark Canha, who's injured. That is going to be straight out to center field, but Suwinski should have it. That's 1 down. Gio Urshela up next. Another plus about this, too, is they've been seeing lefties all game. Seeing a ball coming out at the different angle. In theory, again, I don't know if any of that stuff's baked into the game, but I like to think it is. Riley Green, that looks like out number 3. Bednar gets through it, and we get another win for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's go. So a 7-4 victory for us, 11 hits. Looked like a good game all around, except for the errors. My best guess off the top of my head is that Oneil Cruz would be the MVP, but I could see it going to Perez or Ke'Bryan Hayes. It looks like Oneil Cruz was the MVP. I was correct. Home runs for Rowdy Tellez and Oneil Cruz. I think Rowdy Tellez is only 2 hits. So he has 3 hits. 2 of them are home runs. That seems about right for Rowdy Tellez, if you ask me. Overall, a good game. I think we had 3 stolen bases, too. Yeah, Olivares, Reynolds, and Ke'Bryan Hayes. So playing ball the way that we are hoping to play ball as the Pittsburgh Pirates. That is best case scenario game for us. Now we're going to got Skubal against Keller, and we'll go ahead and sim that one. And hopefully things work out as well for us in game 2 as they did in game 1, and not even remotely close. Looks like Keller got absolutely abused, 5 earned through 4, so he had a good first performance of the game in our opening day game that we started this whole series with. His last 2 performances that I have simmed have been absolutely terrible. The bullpen didn't do much help after that, and Skubal's a beast of a pitcher. You can see 10 strikeouts there. I was debating playing that game instead of the Maeda game just because I wanted to see what it would look like up against a pitcher like Skubal, but we'll just take the loss of the sim there. Not a terrible game hitting. Suwinski actually did pretty well. Probably broke him out of his slump. No home runs, though Suwinski did get a triple. Error for Grandal behind the plate. And we split that series with Detroit. And I'm going to go ahead and just sim through this Philadelphia series. Then we'll kind of look at the draft pool, too. And we'll probably end the video series here. And I think in my next series, I'll probably play one of these games against Boston and sim the series at New York. But I might play one game in East. We'll see where we go there. But let's go ahead and sim this game against Ranger Suarez. Another terrible loss for us. Just bad pitching all around. We did Barucki into Lauer, and neither of them were very good. Holderman was also terrible. So every pitcher gave up multiple runs except for Falter. But he only pitched 2/3 of an inning. Whit Merrifield beat the crap out of us. Looking at the stat line. So not much to be happy about there. I guess good hitting performances from Ke'Bryan Hayes, Brian Reynolds, Andrew McCutchen, but that's about it. Not a good game at all for us. We'll go ahead and finish the next game too. Another bad game. Bad game hitting and pitching here. Marco Gonzalez gives up 3. The bullpen is doing really bad for us, which is, I guess, was one of my fears going into the game. We should have been able to do better against Taijuan Walker there, and we just did not at all. Looks like no hitting stringing together at all. Olivares is the only guy to really do much of anything. Suwinski got a stolen base, but can't be too happy about that. And then let's go ahead and see if I look at my mail and news here. Let's take a look at the draft pool and see if anyone stands out to us. In terms of the hitters, looks like we already have pretty high scouting on everyone, which I like. No one stands out as a kind of like breakout star. Just looking at this basic potential, 3 stars for everyone. On the pitcher side, top guy is only 2.5 stars. Boston Bateman, that's a pretty cool name. Left-hander from LSU. Interesting. So maybe we'll dive a little bit deeper into this as time goes on, but I like that our scouting accuracy on these guys is already starting very high. I think we set it up to be that way, but going back to this earlier, I think we played Washington. We got a lot of games against the NL East to start the year here. This should be a winnable game. ahead and sim through that, and it was not a winnable game. It was a loss. Ortiz versus Allard. At least a decent performance for our bullpen, but we got to do more to mid-tier pitchers than we did right there. Oneil, Cruz, and Brian Reynolds. Jake Lamb with double-digit hits, and going up against Zach Wheeler here. I have a feeling we're going to get swept, but Rosny Contreras has been our best pitcher to this point, so hopefully we can pull one out here, but I'm not holding my breath. Ooh, we did. Wow. So Andrew McCutchen gets home run number 30 in that game. Jack Suwinski is going to be out for about 2 months now. Hate to see that, but looks like a big comeback victory for us, which is great. Rosny Contreras was terrible through 4, but the bullpen held it together. Holderman picks up the win. Chapman and Barucki with holds. We beat up Wheeler a bit and then really made Matt Strand pay in the 7th, it looks like. I guess the 8th is where we really did the most of our damage. Andrew McCutchen, 2 for 5, and it looks like Rowdy Tellez had 2 home runs. McCutchen and Cruz with 1 each. Outfield assist for Brian Reynolds, throwing out Nick Castellanos, going home. Rowdy Tellez is the player of the game, and overall, I like that we did not end that game getting swept, but we do lose Suwinski, which is rough, and we're going to need to make a quick decision on filling out our center field spot. Luckily, Brian Reynolds can play center field if we need to, but we'll take a look at our minors here and see how things are going there. I'm just going to throw him on the 10-day. I don't need to free up the spot on our 40-man because the game starts a little bit broken and we only have 29 guys on our 40-man. Let's go over to organization and look at how our Indianapolis Indians are doing. Switch to show stats right now. And we'll sort by position. So Ji Hwan Bae, off the top of my head, seemed like the guy that would probably be most likely to be called up for that spot, but Gorski and Palacios are also doable, and Palacios actually looks like he's doing really well there. Let's take a look at him. So he's not going to really, be a breakout in any spot for us. Looking at Carter Smith Najiba here too, another guy that's been doing really well at the AAA level. I think we'll start with Palacios and work our way up from there. Is Palacios a lefty or a righty? Hits lefty. So yeah, we'll pop him on the 30-man roster and we will give him a nice call up. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to let my AIs do my minor leagues here. And then I'm going to really quickly take a look at Paul Skenes and see how he's doing. I'm actually surprised that he didn't get called up there. Paul Skenes has started 2 games, 2 wins, no earned runs, and 12 strikeouts. I love all of that. So this is the guy we're going to focus a lot on him. But we'll throw Palacios into the main roster here, and we'll pick up the next series with Life Without Jack Suwinski. Thanks for watching this one. Hope you guys are enjoying this series thus far. Leave a comment if you have any other ideas for what we should be doing long-term at center field. And if you guys have any feelings about how the 2025 or 24 Bucks are doing up to this point. Thanks for watching.